Hello everyone, welcome to the Gamer Real Talk Show. In this episode, we'll be reviewing the relationship status among us as youths. Like, why should I love? Why should I be loved? Why should I date? Or who should I date? So these questions, we've also heard of so many things. Somebody committing murder, suicide, maybe being stabbed or killed. But the question is it really worth it? Is this the love that we really talk about? So in today's show, I've got with me today my panelists. Thank you very much for sparing time to come and discuss these matters. So maybe if I can give them a little bit to introduce themselves, starting from my right. Yes.
Yes, my name is Chuchu Brian. I'm really happy to be here. Well, I've had experience based on relationships and whatever it is that we've acquired outside there, I'll be so happy to share with you. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura. I'm a 22-year-old campus student, and I'm happy to have been invited to partake in this conversation because it's a very interesting conversation.
All right, my left.
Hi everyone, I'm Mike, a student from Zitec University. I'm very glad to be in this panel, and this is an interesting topic that is affecting the millennials, and I'm very glad to be here.
All right.
Hi everyone, my name is Fiona Jael from Multimedia University. I am humbled so much to be invited here today to talk about relationships today, and we will discuss as we continue. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm very happy to have you today. So, guys, what's your take on dating, Brian?
As dating in the current society is poison. Allow me to use that word. The reason why I'm saying this is because we are having both men and women who have not identified who they are first. So I want to get into a relationship, I want to date, but I have not known who I am. I have not known what I want from this person. And most times you find that this other person does not know even what they too want. So we are two people who are confused. Yeah, confused. So with this, we create an environment where we cannot fully understand one another. So when we cannot fully understand one another, then there's no way we can function. So the relationship in this current generation of society is quite messed up for that matter. And the reason is because we've not identified who we are before we get into it.
Yeah. Right, with thyself, Laura.
People get into relationships without giving much thought to what they're supposed to put in for the relationship to work, with how much they're supposed to be committed. People don't really consider everything as everything they need to consider before getting into a relationship. Yeah, so it's pretty messed up.
All right, Mike.
My take on this dating today is actually tough on the millennials, and we find that some of the millennials, they may know what to do, or they may know what kind of the relationships they want, but they actually doesn't have somebody to lead them, to show them what to do, to give them directives on what relationships actually are. That is my take.
Right. Yes.
Okay, for me, if I was to be asked about the olden days relationship and the modern days, then the olden days have it, because we're in that generation where we want to try everything. We're in that generation we want to try each and every day. If we fail to do something, then we will rise the next day and start anew with different lines and with different vibes. And so for me, I don't support modern relationships because the youths of nowadays, they don't believe in the beauty of predictability, but they're blinded so much by the thrill of adventure. So meaning they want to try everything. They fail to most of the youths that get into relationships early, they fail to invest, they fail to, let me say, to be committed, and so they let it go. So meaning they're not always ready to start a relationship. So
Right.
That's my take.
And I'll just start from your point, whereby you say that the youths of nowadays, they get into relationships early. Do you think there's a specific age whereby, like, now I'm going to say that so and so is now ready to start dating?
No, I think that's a little bit personal. It's a personal decision. You really, okay, people should get into relationships when they're ready, when they actually understand what a relationship is supposed to entail. This what like if you understand things about commitment, loyalty, effort, everything you have to put in a relationship. And I think young people don't really understand that yet. So maybe, okay, maybe if you feel like you're ready and you really understand everything you're supposed to put in the relationship for it to work, then maybe you should date. But before you understand what a relationship should entail, then you shouldn't. That's my take.
Right.
Well, allow me disagree with her on one point. She's saying that the current generation we are characterized by unpredictability. Well, there's nothing wrong with adventure, and I think that thrill, that rush, that emotional rush in a relationship is what actually makes it exciting. So when you tell me that we are in a generation where we want to try everything, then we are looking at dating in the wrong way. As I told you earlier that we do not quite understand the nature of one another. See, if you want to tell me you prefer the relationship in the olden days, we cannot go back there, and we are at a place where both men and women want to be equalized. Well, my friend here has mentioned that this dating in this era is tough. Well, I'd say it's tougher for men than women. So in that way, we can conclude that toughness that it is for men and the unpredictability that there is, these are some of the things that cannot really make it work. And to conclude about that matter, you see, when there is a point of equality, there's no day, we can all agree, there's no day that a man and a woman will ever be the same. We are both identified in our nature, like I am the man and she's the woman. So when I am the man, there are my roles that I'm supposed to perform. And the moment that she wants to perform these roles, then we come to a point that we are disagreeing. So I'd say that the thrill, the rush is there and it's exciting, but that's not really the fundamental cause of the messing up of the relationships. It's because both of us, we have not identified who we are, my nature as a man, what am I supposed to do to this lady, her nature as a woman, what are her roles. So I think from that point we can be able to understand how messed up we are.
All right. Yes, Fiona.
Okay. Suppose you want to start a relationship at 20 or 21. You can't tell me that age 21 doesn't know what to do in a relationship. You can't tell me that age 22 doesn't know what to do in a relationship. These people, they just want people to watch movies with, attend parties with, sharing excitements, and when all this fades away, they want to start another with other people. So they don't want to share the boring days, they don't want to share the hardship and the silence of their partners. So, okay, for me, I can say that when all this fades away, they're going to go out there and they're going to search for another. So that is why I always say that they're blinded by the thrill of adventure.
Yes, Mike.
Actually, age does matter when it comes to relationships. Because, with age is where we have what we call maturity. And with maturity, we'll find that somebody will be responsible for the relationship. You will be able to commit to the relationship and take care of the partner that he or she has in the relationship. So when it comes to age, the older people, let's say an age gap from 25 to 30 is an ideal age to start dating.
All right. So, but back to you. I heard you saying that it is very tough, like on men's side. Why do you say it is tough on men's side, not the other side?
Well, we are trying to look at the fundamental reason as to why these relationships are failing or the relationships are messed up. Now, there is no ideal age for maturity. Maybe you can find an 18-year-old kid who's more mature than a 25-year-old woman. It's the same thing. Maybe you can find a 40-year-old man who is just in his teenagehood. but the age is 40. You're getting the point. So there's really no definitive point where we can say at this particular age you're supposed to date. Well, when we go back to the olden days, like she said, you find that our parents were being married when they were 18. They were 20, and somehow, the way they talk to you, they appear like they were pretty mature at that particular time. So I think the ideal point that is causing this messed up, or the reason as to why we cannot tie a particular age to dating, is because people really don't know who they are or what their nature is. Now, let me stress on that point about it being tougher for men. You see, when there is no balance, nothing can flow in harmony. When things are not balanced, nothing can flow in harmony. When a man, my age, I want to date a woman my age. Typically people say age doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter, but it really has some solid essence to that relationship. There's no way I have attended classes with you. We are particularly peers, and then I want to tell you, go do this. It becomes hard. You feel like, why is he telling me to do this? Why is he telling me to do this? So once we are in that same age where we want to explore our options, and we find a woman that is also in that same age bracket, it becomes quite difficult. So with age, there are two factors that I can point out. One, 18 years old is the legal age for someone to become an adult. And the government expects you to start, particularly thinking. In other words, you can take care of yourself at that particular time. So, caring for someone, you cannot care for someone if you cannot, take care of yourself. So I think with 18 years of age, that person is capable of handling what a relationship really is. Another thing is, we get to learn as we move through the process. I cannot learn something without being engaged in it. You getting the point? So if I say I am not ready for a relationship, there's no way that I can settle for a mature relationship if I have not even known what it means to be in a relationship. So another factor that comes with age, the last factor for that matter, is that submission. So I think we need to have a difference here. If I'm 18 years of age and I'm a dude, it becomes difficult for me to date a lady that has that particular age. Are you getting the point? So ideal for women, and I think 20 for men, because at that particular time, even with a slight age difference, it's able for this woman to understand that you are the man in this relationship, and she's supposed to respect you. And a relationship cannot work without respect. So I think we need to consider those factors. Yes.
Okay.
Ideal age always goes for both male and female. I don't know why you're saying that ideal for female and 20 or 25 for male. Definitely a 20-year-old male can't date a, let me say, 9 or 11. They can't. Okay, for me they can't, because there isn't an ideal age for relationships, because children are different. Families are different. Children grow differently. Some grow faster than others. So you can't say that there is no ideal age for men.
Well, there are people that wait for guidance. They cannot move without being told what to do. So if I say 18 for women, what I'm implying is that this guy is supposed to be a little bit older at 20 years. When you're 20 years and you want to date this lady who is 18, there is some element of maturity in her. Are you getting the point? But when I'm 18 and I want to date 18 or lower, it's going to become a bit difficult. So that's why I am collectively saying that for a gent, 20 would be okay. And for a lady, 18 will be okay. So for a lady that wants a 20-year-old man, there's that difference there. So I think
actually you're trying to say that guys or dudes should be pretty much older than the ladies.
definitely.
Which is not.
Let me interrupt a little bit. Brian, you initially said that with us, we learn through a process, you see. And if you're trying to say that you should just start dating at 18, right? But you see, relationship is something that deals with emotion. If you're saying that the government says that at 18 you are now like you're fit to start living. You see, when you bring emotions in the picture, it means this is someone who want to like date has to be ready to like take everything that comes with the relationship. You see, and from heartbreaks. You see, and just like say, like households are different. Maybe the way you were brought up is totally different from how someone else was brought up, and therefore that hardship that maybe you underwent while you were growing up is totally different from the other person. So relationship, like emotions, need some kind of an like intrinsic, like some factors. But now when you say 18, according to the constitution, is you get the ID. And the ID doesn't mean that now you are able to deal with emotions.
Well,
So do you think it is right for us to set a particular age?
I think you're missing the point here. I'm giving a definitive answer. I need to be clear about this once again because I think we're not in the same page. So what I'm trying to say is, if we are trying to pin an edge to a place where people can actually start dating, 18 will be good for ladies and 20 will be good for gents. Why am I saying this? Assuming, because we are basing these factors on assumptions, right? So assuming that a woman is 18 years of age, she has some element of maturity. I assume she has some element. Element means that even if it's 1/8 of the total maturity, it's actually maturity. Are you getting the point? At that particular point in time, she's capable of handling whatever comes. The reason why you find that people are, you started dating at a pretty young age, you want to meet different people, they have, different aspects towards this thing. Let me use a practical example. If, for instance, I started dating when I was 13 and I had a girlfriend and she teared my heart completely, the perception I'm going to have towards women and relationships is not going to be the same because at this particular time, my mind had not matured enough to handle what a relationship is. So what I'm trying to say is that at 18 years of age, it would be probable, it would be probable for women. And then for us gents, so that we find a woman that's actually a little bit mature, you're supposed to be like 20 years. At that particular point in time, then this woman can be able to respect you, and then you can function and balance one another. So I think it's a bit clear now.
We cannot run also from logic. It is the basic or the primordial thing that we know is that females normally, the female counterparts, they normally outgrow the male counterparts with intelligence, with maturity. Like an 18-year-old guy with an 18-year-old female, the female will be much mature and more intelligent compared to the male. And no female will want to play mommy to a growing boy.
Yeah.
Are you getting?
But
Right.
when you tell me, this is the point. When you tell me no woman want to play a growing,
Play mommy to a growing boy.
a growing. You see, as I am getting into something, that's why I'm saying that the experiences that we've encountered as we are growing have a lot to do with who we are going to be there. If I am getting into a relationship, I need to know who this woman is. I need to know who this man is. Take your time. I need to know who this woman is. I need to know who this man is. So if I have known this kind of woman that she's immature, I have a decision not to move ahead with this relationship, right? I have a decision not to move ahead with this relationship. And if this lady realizes that, well, this is just some kid that I has to deal with a lot of emotions, then she has she has a right to take a step back. Another thing to note that it's not that these people are messed up with immaturity. Sometimes it's the environment that they have grown in. You see, there are some things that cannot leave a person even if they're 25 or 30. They cannot wait for that to change. They have to learn it in the outside world. And this is the families they've grown to. Now, if you've grown in a family where, the way your father speaks to your mother, there's no respect there. He practically treats her, I don't want to say, less of himself. It's not less of himself per se, but in such a similar situation. Then you want to meet a woman that, you want her to respect you the same way, it becomes difficult. Another thing is that if you are taking, for instance, you've grown in an environment where you are the only boy among 5 girls, there will be some feminine characteristics. You want to be pampered, you want to be, you want to be called sweet names every time. You want to speak to this lady all the time. That's immaturity in that aspect, not because they are not experienced, but it's the environment that they've grown. So when you tell me that we want to, a lady cannot play a mommy
To grow in bed.
growing, but they actually have a right to say, they can actually take a step back. But
The problem is not even in the dating itself. The problem is in selecting who to date.
And from that point, we find that relationship is a process.
Yeah, process.
And the process starts with number one thing, there is attraction. So you get attracted to what you want, you see. Then from there, after attraction, at this point of attraction, you mom each other, you date each other, all the time. That is the first process. Then from that point, there is this thing now called conflict is now coming in. Like, I don't like this. Why are you responding to my texts? You take too much time to reply to my text. There is that push and pull comes in. Then after that, you now come to what we call working or growth. So working, you now come to work for the relationship. After understanding your differences, or after knowing what you want from somebody, if they run, both the ship and sail together.
From you, actually, you've mentioned something about attraction. You see, when you talk about attraction, that one brings the element of like, now I want to date. Nataka kwanza like upata mtu. So at this point of selecting who I'm supposed to fall in love with, do we really believe that there's this thing so-called love at first sight?
Okay, maybe there's attraction at first sight, but love, I have serious doubts about that. Because, of course, there's so many things to look for in a relation, to look for in a person, and you can't see all that at first sight. You want to know this person. You want to know their character. You want to know how they react to certain situations. You want to know how committed they can be to you. You can't see that at first sight. So yeah, maybe I'd say you can be attracted to someone at first sight, of course. But love, I don't think people can fall in love at first sight.
I have friends with, I have maybe over 40 friends, and maybe let me take a smaller number, 10 friends, and we like hanging out. In our age, we like hanging out with a bigger number rather than spending time with one person. So in the midst of these people is where you're going to identify, let me say, an attraction from someone. And so you're going to get into a relationship because of a slightest attraction that you have towards someone, and this thing is not going to last. So let me just say that you're going to start a relationship with this person. You guys, you've known each other for the shortest time possible, and so you can't tell me that you are so in love and you can do things together and you can share things together, you can share ideas together, and to an extent of releasing your private stuffs to her or to him. So I don't believe in love at first sight.
Okay, Mike, do you believe like first love, or like love at first sight exists?
I actually believe that love at first sight exists, and this is a proven thing from a couple of friends I have. Some of them, they hooked up in occasions, and they're running fine. But here comes the case. It only comes to continuation or to perfection if the couple or somebody you hook up with is in accordance to what you want from a partner, or you found that this person, you can say with him or her in the same boat, you have the same values. And to some occasions where you find that it does not work, here is where it comes at the first sight, you are attracted to somebody, then you later on find that this is not the right person after knowing him much deeper.
All right. Do you believe it exists?
No, I believe what happens at first sight is that I want to have sex with this woman. I am lusting after her, or I am infatuated. So it's sexual attraction, lust, and infatuation. That is what happens at first sight. But don't get me wrong, you can develop love from these three occasions. The point where you meet this person, you don't really know who they are. So when you meet them, you can either be lusting after her or him. You can be sexually attracted, or it's an infatuation. But when you now begin to know this person, you understand their personality. There comes a point where you know how to choose where you want to get in or leave. I think that particular point is where you begin to make the decision of love, not even love in itself. You begin to make the decision of love. So I don't believe in love at first sight.
All right. So we've seen like it starts with a decision to date. Now you've already decided to date, yeah, and now you are maybe outside there, maybe looking for someone. You're searching. Then what would you do if, like, maybe say for example, I approach you straightforward, like without beating out the bush, and told that, Lorna, I love you. Would you prefer someone who's straightforward or someone who's meandering around?
Yeah, I definitely prefer a straightforward person, because who has time to stick around and see if you will make up your mind and get to the point? Everyone wants a straightforward person. We have so much to do. We can't. Nobody has time for that. So yeah, I prefer very straightforward person.
So if I meet you and I tell you I want to have sex with you, it's fine. You prefer it that way?
No, what do you want to have sex with?
I mean, you prefer somebody who is
Who
straightforward.
does that? Who goes to someone and tells them that I want to have sex with you?
No, I mean,
Someone is
it's
straightforward.
being straightforward. People want us to be straightforward.
Okay.
So if I came to you and told you that, Lorna, I want, you will say that this guy is definitely mad.
Straightforward.
Yeah, I would say you're definitely mad.
So you.
No. You know, it's different when you're talking about wanting someone and having sex with someone. Those are two very different things. And if you came to me and told me I want to have sex with you, that would be so rude. Okay, I'd definitely find it so rude. So, yeah, because why would I even agree to that? I mean, okay, it's understandable if you're talking about, getting into a relationship with me. But wanting to have sex with me at first sight, that is horrible. Honestly, it's so rude.
And
So
again,
what's
it's
your
not.
perception of being straightforward?
A guy who says what they want, but not in the sex perspective really. And that, if you want to date me, want to be friends with me, but not want to have sex with me, obviously I wouldn't agree to that.
So we are being straightforward, but not every time.
Not in every situation, yes.
Okay, you see, this is the point. This is the point where women, we are operating in a female reality. This is what I want you to know. We are operating in a female reality. Women want us men to behave in a particular way that actually works for them. It is a way that makes her feel that she's venerated, in a way that showcases your chivalry. Seriously, fact that there's nothing about chivalry there. I mean, if I want to have sex with a woman, it's a one night stand. You've met somebody, you don't know this person. Why do I tell her I love her? How does it happen? I mean, if we are to be straightforward, tell me, I want a straightforward person, and I become a straightforward person. People have developed love after that encounter. True or false?
True.
After that first encounter, people have developed love. So when you're talking about being a straightforward person, please allow us to be straightforward in every other angle, not just when it is convenient for you.
Let me tell you one thing, Brian. Not every time someone comes in a straightforward way, that every answer is going to be positive. And every answer is not going to be negative. Suppose someone just comes like, I want to have sex with you. And then it grows after that, this love grows after that, and you guys are just the two of you. And so then just from nowhere, someone asks you, how did you meet? It looks weird, sincerely, it looks weird. We met when he asked me for sex for the first day. Really?
No, I mean, so it looks weird of what other people will think.
Okay, for me, I will take that as insane.
So it is insane for me to be straightforward.
For you to be straightforward in a negative way.
in a negative.
Actually, sex is not negative.
So sex is not negative. You
Okay.
see,
It's
Yeah, but
actually
sex
something.
is such a sensitive
Okay, it's
thing.
Yeah,
it's
so
not
it's sensitive,
negative.
but only
You
say.
can't expect me to
you see,
agree to that.
this is why I'm saying we are operating in a female reality.
Mhm.
You know, a woman can practically tell you anything and she'll feel like she has a right to tell you that. But when you actually, showcase your angles or who you really are to them, then things that don't actually please them now you become bad. Are you getting
Actually,
the point?
you become insane.
You become insane. So I'd like to say this. What other people think of how I met you does not matter. But if we are being honest from the start, I've looked at a lady. I like the physiques; it's attractive. The only thing that is crossing my mind is, lay down with her. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I need to approach her. Yes, I tell her, this is, I will. I must, it's not actually sexual provocation, but it's more of giving an interest that what you actually want to start. If we are agreeing that we should be straightforward. And who determines what is straightforward in a negative way and what is straightforward in a positive way? I mean, those are things that people have come up with in their own way, and then they tell you that this is straightforward in a negative way and this is straightforward in a positive way. So if we are to be straightforward, let us be straightforward in everything. Yeah.
But it's obvious if you just come like that straightforward, like asking someone for sex, 95% of ladies are going to say no. Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's it shows a lot about the person you are. How do you approach someone? The first thing you think about is having sex with them. There's so much to ladies than sex, and I don't know. That's what men don't get. By the way, you can't look at someone and the first thing you want to do is have sex with them. How about know them and maybe know about them, know their character? Why would you want to have
the
sex
idea
with someone
is
at
being
first sight?
straightforward, right? So I'm supposed
Yeah,
to.
but
Why
why
are you
supposed to?
concentrating?
Okay.
Why are you concentrating?
Let me get this right. So if I want to sleep with you, that I am actually interested in sleeping with you, so I have to work in a cunning way to get you to sleep with me.
What
Like
you're
I
talking
have to
about here,
beat around the bush.
what you're talking about here is asking for friendship, asking befriending this person. We're
Can
not
you
talking
even try
about
to
having
love
sex.
So we've
Alright, okay. What are we talking about right now? Having sex.
exactly.
I mean, that was the
Allow
topic
me
that
cut-
we shifted to.
Allow
We
me
are
cut
talking.
you. There's this notion, and as for me, I'll regard it as a fallacy, in that ladies take that when she plays so hard to get and that stuff, she'll be valued. That is a non-issue. Some people, you can meet on the very first day, and you'll all fine, and it will just grow. You can take a lot of time playing around, playing games, playing hard to get. But when that man or when that dude who was interested in you has gotten whatever he needed, he will leave because you were playing around.
Yeah, precisely.
Hide and seek.
So the decision to like someone actually comes with a lot of things. You see, I'm not. Before we started talking about being straightforward, we were being straightforward with somebody that we want them. And then I asked the lady here that if I tell you I want to have sex with you, is that being straightforward? Now that is where issues started coming
Hold your
up.
thought. There you are. Most of the views from my panelists. Well, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll now start discussing. After agreeing to date someone, when is the right time to bring sex into the picture? Stay tuned.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Alright, welcome back. Okay, from our previous conversation, you've heard like from us like there is a lot to ladies than just mere sex. But as I see now, we've already started dating, like maybe now we know each other. So when is the right time to actually bring sex into the picture? Yes, Laura.
Okay, I think the right time to bring sex into the relationship is when both parties are ready. Because there's some situations when people get into the relationship, but maybe one person feels like they're not ready to, sleep with the other person yet. So, okay, yeah. And then there are also other situations when people are just, okay with, like, when Brian was talking about people who, have sex at the first encounter and then later something else develops. Yeah, and so in such situations, maybe the people are comfortable with, being that vulnerable with each other. But basically, I think, in my opinion, people should introduce sex into the relationship when they're both ready.
Like, what do you mean by when they are ready? Like, ready to scratch, or ready, like, in the sense that now they are already, like, now dating?
Yeah, ready in the sense that they've known each other. They know they're not in the relationship for sex only. They've known each other. They actually know that they want to date, and there's more to the relationship than sex.
All right, Brian. When will you bring yours?
You cannot negotiate genuine desire from a woman. If a woman loves you or she's sexually attracted to you, she can fly miles to come and fuck you, brother. It's possible. The thing is, when both of you, there's that tension,
Yeah.
when she can't keep her hands off you, you cannot wait for her to actually tell you, Brian, I want to have sex with you,
Yeah.
No, she cannot tell you, bring, okay, there are some who can actually tell you, bring it on. There are others who can tell you that. But there's usually that sexual tension. I don't know if you've ever been in a place where there's a lot of sexual tension between two people. You see the way they look at each other and all that, It's the first night, and they can't really keep the hands off each other.
Yeah.
So when I say she's to some extent right when she's saying that when both parties are ready, but a woman will never tell you she's ready, sir. A woman will never tell you she's ready. The female reality operates from a point where she expects you to take charge.
Yeah.
It is proven a man is supposed to take charge. And you take charge of sex, you take charge of the family, you take charge of every aspect of that relationship. Even if you go to a date with her, as the man, you need to choose what you want to eat. She doesn't choose that for you. I mean, it's all the aspect of taking charge. Now, coming back to this, you need to, if you watch lions, for instance, those things, they are animals, yes. But when you watch a male lion, there's a way in which he operates. Getting the point? Or a male tiger, or even a cock. There's a way in which they operate. So in that aspect, as a man, you need to initiate that sex. Are you getting the point? You need to initiate that sex, and you cannot wait for a woman to tell you that she's ready or actually see. So, as I conclude, there's never a ready time for us to have sex. It could be any time. It could be 30 seconds after meeting you. It could be weeks after meeting you. But I'm telling you, as the man, take charge to initiate. Genuine desire cannot be negotiated. If she does not want to have it with you and she has explained to you, it is understandable. But if her reasons are not justified, then...
Actually, according to me, I don't think if there is that time that is said that this is the best time to be intimate with each other. You can meet the very first day you met, you discuss issues, you're all fine, you smash, and things will go okay, you see? And to some extent, if you like, you can bring it later on. But smashing on the first day of the first meeting, it doesn't have any change that it will bring, or it will not affect you in any kind of way. If it was supposed to be, it will be. If it was not supposed to be, it will end. So I don't think if there is that ideal time to become intimate with each other. You can meet the very first day and you smash and things go on.
Okay, I think there's something I didn't make this clear. Okay, when I was talking about people being ready, I meant people when you both want it. Okay, you can want it on the first day, on your first day.
Then
Nobody's going to
you
judge you
should
for
know
that.
there is an initiator.
No, not for every situation. Some people both want it. I mean, people are different. The people who meet on the first day and they both they both want it. The people who want to know each other first. It all depends on, when both of you want it.
So basically,
that's what I
there's
meant
no
by being ready.
ideal time to work being.
Yeah, there's no ideal time, but when both of you want it, such that both of you have consented to it, and you both want it, then you can have it.
No, when you say that, okay, practically there's no initiator. Okay, there's no rule that fundamentally says that men are supposed to initiate or women. No. But the thing is, as men, I'm talking to the men in the relationships now. As a man, you need to take the lead. If you are interested in sleeping with this lady the first night, show her that you want to sleep with her. There's nothing wrong with that. She has a right to say no. She has a right to say yes. If she says no and you're not pleased with her, you can as well quit. If she says no and you're pleased with her, you can stay. It's all a matter of choice. Now, I want to tell you something. The same women that tell you that I cannot sleep with this the same night. You've been married for over 5 years, and she goes on a business trip and sleeps with a stranger that she doesn't know, she has never met, and such like things happen. And then they try to say that they want to connect sex and love. Well, fundamentally, us men, we do not connect sex and love. I can sleep with 3 women and I know my woman. At the end of the day, I can go back to her because she is the one. Are you getting the point? But for a woman, you see, sex has to be attached with some emotion in it. Emotion could be as little as a crush. But for us men, there's usually no feeling there. If she's not my woman, are you getting the point? There is no point of attachment, maybe some cases. So the same woman that can tell I cannot sleep with a guy on the first date, you cannot have sex with me, it's the same woman that you could be dating for 5 years, and then she meets a stranger that both of you have never known, and she sleeps with this stranger. Are you getting the point? So the conclusion here is that there is really no specific duration with which we can have sex in a relationship. But depending on the sexual tension between the two of you, she cannot keep her hands off you. Initiate her, tell her you want this. Getting the point? It's all about taking charge of that particular relationship. Yeah.
All right. So we keep on talking about sex and stuff, but then you see maybe what sex means to us men might be different to what it means to the ladies, because you hear a lot of say that there is too much to them than just mere sex. But according to your point, I don't know whether you're trying to say that women are just scratching machines, but you just do it without emotions being attached. But then maybe let's hear from the ladies, and then maybe from you too, what sex in a relationship means to you. Let me start with Fiona.
He has said that for them it doesn't matter. He can screw as many girls as possible, and by the end of the day,
No, it matters, just not necessarily. Please put the word right, thank you.
Okay, and at the end of the day, he goes back to
The
his
main chick.
to the main chick. So okay, for us ladies, it matters so much. It matters in such a way that you're not going to if you're this type of girl who upholds her dignity so much, you're not going to spend a night with a guy, then the next day you're spending a night with a guy pretending that sex doesn't matter for you in a relationship. So for me, it matters. I don't know how to put it, but for me, it does.
But then you
matter.
see, when you talk about dignity, you see, with the relationship, like with the love, more so like when it comes to sex, you see, here we are addressing issues, and we have to also admit that there are other people who are broken, like literally they are broken emotionally, and these are the people that maybe you find maybe along the streets, and boom, a one night stand. We cannot say that they don't have dignity. Maybe they have, but then they are broken, and their condition maybe we don't understand.
Dignity
You
is
see.
relative.
Dignity is relative. They have dignity.
have.
At least they have dignity. Yes.
So mark you, they're also ladies. So when you say that this guy is going outside there to screw whoever he meets, and then come back to the main chick, what about them? Just saying, maybe for example you are one of them that he has screwed, then yet you're not the main chick. Do you say they don't have dignity?
Well, let me tell you this. You don't understand what I'm saying.
All right.
I'm saying this one. You can't tell me. Okay, let me just give an example with me. I get screwed with him, and in the same day, I get screwed with you. I mean that alone it tells you what kind of girl this is. Yeah. So I still stand to my point that I respect, or let me say, okay, let me just use the word of respect. I respect sex so much in a relationship. I do. Yeah.
So to you, what does it mean?
There is a connection. There is always a connection. There is always a connection. For us females, there is always a connection. After you are screwed with some guy, there is always a connection that us ladies will remain with.
Right.
Yeah.
Laura, do you agree that there's always a connection in sex maybe for you ladies?
Okay, it's a way of connecting spiritually and emotionally with the partner. That's what I believe. Yeah, but then you don't have to feel the connection with everyone you sleep with. I mean, yeah, there's the one night stands, the people you're using for rebounds, the people you really don't really give a shit about them. Yeah, but in a relationship, I think it's really important. Yeah, and I think I think sex is important in a relationship.
All right, now to the men. Okay, you also understand that maybe, okay, to them you hear they're saying there is a connection, of which Laura is saying that you don't have to
Not in
be
every
like,
situation.
yeah, not in every situation. But now for us men, maybe people have sex. Maybe you have sex because maybe it feels like, okay, it makes us feel like this girl like ananijali, unaona. But then if she denies me that sex, nakasirika, unaona, nakasirika nasema that huyu ni kama maybe hapa na mpango wa kando. You see, these things are there. Like even you, maybe sometimes you might be in need of it, but then I say no. You might say that this guy maybe is from work. Amelala na mtu huko. So what does sex really mean to us men? Let me start with Brian.
Well, the common word that comes when you break a woman's heart is that he used me, right?
Yeah, actually.
And when a woman breaks a man's heart, what comes out? I invested in her.
Yeah.
You're getting the point. So women understand men from a point of service, use, service. I mean, she's understanding you from a point of pleasing you. She's serving you. Are you getting? As painful as it is, she's serving you and she's pleasing you. Well, coming back to this context, men are naturally polygamous, and that is something that women need to make peace with. Men are naturally polygamous. That is something that women need to make peace with. And as you grow as a woman, then that is something that you can even ask the people who have been married for over 30 years or 45 years, and they have a real man in the home, if you know what I mean. Men are naturally polygamous creatures. The same way killing is a natural instinct in a predator, is the same way polygamy is a natural instinct in a man. And being polygamous does not necessarily mean that you don't care. Now, I'm not talking about the context of marriage in this society where you bring a second wife. No, I wouldn't really be in support for that. But as we are in this dating aura, in this environment of dating, men will never connect love with sex. Rarely. We philosophically, it is depending on the way you've been brought up. There are men who are excessively emotional. There are men who are, the hardcore kind of guys. They literally, you'd see them and think these guys have no emotions, yet they do. The thing is, there's always that one woman in your life that's irreplaceable. Are you getting the point? But you don't necessarily, she cannot necessarily be the only woman you have sex with. Are you getting the point? She can be the only woman you have sex with, but not necessarily. In other words, you can be having sex outside the relationship, but you don't love these women. Are you getting the point? But to that particular one lady, there's a way in which you connect with her that no one else can understand. But that cannot inhibit you having sex with other women. So the point is, for a woman, it is they have to connect emotion and sex. Are you getting? There's some connection of emotion and sex. There's some feeling in it. That is why when a woman cheats on you, taking her back is like the most disastrous mistake you can do as a man. Never. When a woman cheats on you, never take her back. There's no excuse you can give on that. Because cheating on her, she cheated emotionally and she cheated physically. But as men, most of the time we cheat physically. We like what we see. I mean, the way you look, that is what pleases her. Women love what they hear. I tell her she looks beautiful. She's like, hey. But for us, they love, we love what we see. Is she carved enough? Is she ate enough? Are you getting the point? That is what I understand as the point of attraction. So, for conclusion, I can say that the point of sex and connection for us. There's a connection in sex, but not so much as people would
So
think
you're
it
trying to
is.
say that for men, like sex is basically an attraction justification tool. Like if I'm attracted in you, then if I fuck you, then it means I've justified my point that I was attracted to you.
Precisely.
Oh. All right. After having discussed like some of the aspects affecting us youths, like in our relationships, we therefore like call this episode, though but preparing you to our next episode, on tackling the same issue on relationships, revolving around finances. Like, what do you expect in relationships? So, thank you guys for showing up for this event, like this show. Thanks for your opinions because they will help. So, thank you everybody for like the production team that has made this production a success, and thanks to our viewers and our supporters too. So, be ready, prepare for the next episode coming soon. Thank you.